I would say good morning, but it's not good morning. It is good afternoon. I'm really kind of excited about joining you guys today because um, it's a lot I want to talk about. It's a lot I want to unpack. Something happened yesterday and I want to address it. Um, but first, I want to get to the word. The word that I was meditating on today is Proverbs 15:31, which says, and pay attention to this, really pay attention because I'm going to go somewhere with this. Proverbs 15:31, it says, listen to constructive criticism. When you listen to constructive criticism, you make your home among the wise. But when you reject discipline, you bring harm to yourself. So when you reject discipline, you bring harm to yourself. And when you listen to correction, you grow in understanding. I'm going to say that again. Proverbs 15:31. If you listen to constructive criticism, you make your home among the wise. If you reject discipline, you bring harm to yourself. If you listen to correction, I'm getting distracted and I don't want to do that. But if you listen to correction, you grow in understanding. So I wanted to bring that up because I never want to be the type of person that's on here, giving you the scriptures and I'm not living it, or I come across as a hypocrite. Yesterday, there was someone on YouTube, and this is how you know that you're growing. God is using you on a broader platform. People are seeing you. And of course, there's going to be people that are against you. And I feel like God has had me in training, preparing me for that. But anyway, there was a person on there and they said, I had posted a video and they said, well, what about women adorning themselves? What about women in modesty is basically what they were saying. So they were telling me that what I had on was not modest. So I want to read this scripture, which is 1 Timothy 2:9. And it says, and I want women to be modest in their appearance. They should wear decent and appropriate clothing and not draw attention to themselves by the way they fix their hair or by wearing gold, pearls, or expensive clothes. Now, I responded back to them. I said, thank you, because one thing about me is I never want to carry myself in a way that does not please God. I never want to be a hypocrite. And what the scripture I mentioned previously about discipline and being able to take constructive criticism, I welcome it. So if any one of you ever, have something to say to me, I welcome it. Like, I'm not offended, because to live this walk and to walk for Jesus, you're going to have to embrace offense because you're going to be offended. I think it was a guy, I don't know, but I think, he was coming at me and he was like, basically saying what I had on was immodest. Now, when I read 1 Timothy 2:9, it says, do not bring attention to yourself. Do not dress inappropriately to bring attention to yourself. Do not wear gold, pearls, or expensive clothes. I was not doing any of that because the things that I wear, I don't wear them to bring attention to myself. I didn't have gold on, pearls, or any expensive clothes. I wasn't showing my boobs. I wasn't having my butt cheeks out. So I didn't feel what I had on was unmodest. Now, I want to share this, that God is dealing with me, because I can tell you there was a time that I was very provocative. I was very, provocative in the clothes that I wore. But God is the one that began to change me. God is still changing me, because it's funny that that person said that, because I had already started losing the desire for, when I work out and I'm doing fitness, to have shirts on that show my belly. Even though I don't feel that that's something that is provocative, or I'm being unmodest with that, because the thing about working out is it's a uniform for me. I put on these fitted clothes because I want to see my form when I'm working out. When I'm working on different parts of my body, I want to look at that. If I'm outside and I'm jogging, it's just better fit for, running and jogging for me than loose clothes when I'm working out. So it's a purpose why I wear these clothes. It'd be different if I was putting these clothes on and I'm going to the gym and I'm trying to provoke men. That's a different thing. And some of you may say, hey, you don't have to explain anything to anyone, but I feel like we do. It's a responsibility as a believer that I never want to mislead a person. And I feel like we have to educate people. We have to inform them, and we have to have humility. I don't want to be prideful and feel like I can't be sharpened. I always want to be growing and be sharpened by the right type of fruit. Now, when I looked at this gentleman's page, it wasn't the right type of fruit. Like, he was a rap artist. His rap was parental advisory rap. So he wasn't walking the walk. He wasn't living righteously. So he's not someone that I would have listened to anyway, because his fruit is not even bearing righteousness. But saying that, I prayed for him. Like I told him, I said, hey, I don't have anything but love for you, and I will continue to pray, because I said, I feel like you're a Pharisee, that you are looking for something, because my spirit irritates your demon. Light will shake up darkness, and they hate it. They hate the light of someone. Demons hate the light. Just like, we want to see everything is good. Well, there's evil spirits out here that are looking to suffocate the light that is within you, and you have to know how to move accordingly, and nothing is going to steal my joy. I'm not going to allow the enemy to have an advantage over me, to cause me to be ignorant of his devices. I'm always going to move in God. And I also wanted to just say, God is the one that changes us. What I want to leave with you is that God is the one that will change you from things that, maybe things that are not totally pleasing to him. He's changing me in my wardrobe, that now I was looking online where I shop at, and I said, you know what, I kind of want to start wearing workout shirts that cover my belly up, cover my abs up. I'm still going to have my leggings on, still going to wear fitted clothes, but that's a desire that God gave me, because I like wearing fitted clothes, and I don't really see anything wrong with it if I'm not being, showing my body parts. And I feel like we as women, if we're a very bodacious woman, then it's different than a slender woman putting on something. It's going to have a different impact. But my whole point for bringing this up is I want you to know that everything I do is for the Lord. I'm not offended by anyone. I don't have to prove anything to another human being. But I do feel like as a believer, I always want to bring up topics of discussion that, maybe happen, to let you know how I'm handling it and how you should handle it. Like, you shouldn't be offended when someone brings correction to you if it's coming from a good source. If it's something that you feel like you can grow in, then by all means. I feel like when we say that we're grown, we don't want to listen to people, then we stop growing. We should always be at a point where we want to grow. So I was not offended by this gentleman, but it's something that God is already changing my desires on. And I didn't feel that anything I had on was being provocative or being lustful. That was never my intention. It was the message. And that person was truly being a Pharisee. Like, they were really trying to just, get me rattled up. And it wasn't going to happen, because I feel like, I did a video before where God will have you in training. Sometimes he takes you out and puts you in a place of isolation, because he is trying to train you, to prepare you for what he has for you. With higher elevation comes higher responsibility. So I feel like that's what he's been doing for me, and why I was able to handle that situation with grace, with humility, with love. And that's what I want to say to you. Do not be easily offended. Be willing to take constructive criticism, and be willing, just be embracing love, because God is love. And don't let anyone take you to a place where you allow them to have control, because that's what the enemy wants. He's crafty, and he wants to steal your joy, and he wants to take control. Be blessed, family.